to Atlantic City on the world-famous boardwalk with so much to do, but we're here to play golf. How am I going to get to the golf course? Golf cart! We're headed to the famous Stephen K. Golf Trail.
One moment changes everything. Distance, precision, decided in a microsecond. So reduce your ball spin and get the most performance at impact with 4 yards more. A next-gen golf tee proven by pros and players like you. The unique durable design flexes at contact, reducing ball spin, giving you tighter control and more distance. So change your game and get 4 yards more. Brought to you by Greenkeepers. Golf Smart.
Are you tired of misreading putts? You read it to break left, and it breaks right. With a Strakaline green reading book, you will know how your ball will roll on the green. Here is how you read it with the Strakaline arrows. Strakaline is used by touring pros, and now you can get the same book for your course. Save 50% today by using this promo code. Included with your purchase, you will get an instructional green reading video for free. So buy a book now so you can make more putts in your next round.
Well, before we actually start out on the Stephen K. Golf Trail, I figured we'd better meet the man who developed it and find out a little bit how it came to be. Stephen K., golf course architect, welcome to the Traveling
Tony,
Golfer.
Pleasure.
And Stephen, some people are going to think when they watch this show that this was a design trail that it didn't happen that way, it evolved.
No, it didn't happen at all. It's just something we've sort of talked about the last few years.
So, the Stephen K. Golf Trail, 4 courses, South Jersey, how are they all different?
How are they different? The best way to describe that is to go in order of the courses and what we tried to do. Blue Heron Pines, the idea there was to do variations on holes from other golf courses, like Pine Valley, Pinehurst, and Bethpage Black, which I know is public, but a lot of golfers don't travel that far to go to those golf courses, so that the public who come down to Atlantic City, play Blue Heron, could play those holes.
A little thrill.
Harbor Pines was to do a little bit more of a parkland golf course, try to get a little bit of a feel of Augusta. Scotland Run, the site dictated the design being abandoned sand and gravel with the pits and cliffs that were left there. And then McCullough Emerald Links they also said we need a hook. Now, one of the things that we realized we couldn't do is you're not allowed to plant trees. An officially closed landfill, you're not allowed to plant trees because the roots could break into this barrier. There's a plastic barrier and the roots actually would be strong enough to break through it. So therefore, I knew I was going to have a link-style golf course. It was going to be up high. It was going to be very windy, which meant I was going to have to have wider fairways in order to handle the wind.
Perfect.
And so to have a little bit of a, quote, hook, we were going to do variations of holes from Scotland and Ireland.
There is one theme I see that you use extremely well throughout the Stephen K. Golf Trail. And if you're in South Jersey, you might as well use it. You're here, and that's the sand. And you use it as an interesting feature at each of the courses.
There's a lot of sand at the golf courses. Probably Scotland Run has the most. Harbor Pines, the idea of the 7th hole is a reverse of the famous 13th hole, heroic par 5 at Augusta National. But instead of it being a creek in front of the green, we did it with sand. And I try to trick the golfers by, it's grass down so you don't see the sand from your tee shot, and the first time you play it, you see a walking bridge. And we actually have a sloped walking bridge.
So it's not a creek, it's a sand creek.
It's a sand
I
like that.
A river of
sand river. I never heard of that. I like that, sand river.
Cool.
You know it after the second time you play it, but you don't know the first time. You actually think you might have hit into a water hazard.
Now, the sand you use isn't always right up against the green.
No, back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, a lot of architects, other than Pete Dye, basically just put fairway bunkers where the better players were going to land, and then put them by the green. And they didn't have bunkers that affected the shorter hitting B or the C player or the D player. So I realized, and then I started studying the older golf courses. there were bunkers that came into play for those other plays, not just the monotony of just at the green and just, you know, 240, 260 yards off the tee. You see it on several holes at my golf courses where there will be that bunker that's a deceiving bunker. Right. That may be 40 yards in front of the green. And it was deceiving in those days when those architects like Donald Ross, Tillinghast, Devereux Emmett did it. You had to judge your distance. It wasn't on the sprinkler head or you had the laser. So as much as they might not be as deceiving today, they might still deceive you in a subliminal way. Why is it in America you have these crushing finishing holes? And the 18th hole, and the average golfer finishes with a double or a triple. 8 out of 10 courses in Scotland, the 18th hole is easy. So the excitement of a possible birdie for the good player, the excitement of a possible par for the average player.
Well, the idea to leave them with a good taste in their mouth is a great idea in my book. And folks, play the Stephen K. Golf Trail. You'll finish it with a good taste in your mouth, too.
Huh, Ridgeback. Ridgeback? That's pretty cool. So it's a brace for the face?
Ridgeback, like the dog.
I'm really a cat guy. So what is it?
The best feeling and longest metal woods you'll ever hit.
Was that Bernhard?
Oh, great, Langer. You know why I play Tour Edge? Because I win with it.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
Ready, set, go.
Go, boy, go! Go, boy, go! Go, boy, go! Go, boy,
Live big in the larger-than-life SUVs from GMC. The GMC Acadia, Terrain, and all-new Yukon. Current eligible GMC lessees can get this low-mileage lease on this 2021 Acadia SLE for around $179 per month. We are professional-grade GMC.
An added feature to a golf trip in Atlantic City is there are so many choices of accommodations. All of the casinos have terrific hotels, but there are other choices like the Sheraton Atlantic City, right next to the outlets, right down the street from the boardwalk, and it has so much history. The history of Miss America is here. The statue of Bert Parks welcomes people as they come in. It's a wonderful place and it has a great location. And it puts you so close to all of the great nightlife and other features in Atlantic City. Yes, there's gambling. Yes, there's entertainment. Yes, there's the famous beach and the boardwalk. But there's also a great dining scene. Everything from subs to high-end dining. And also, it can take you around to all the other attractions. So much to see, the fishing, the boating, even Lucy the elephant. Great hole here. Number 11, Blue Heron Pines, and a couple of pretty good NFL quarterbacks too, Ron Jaworski and Joe Pisarcik.
Joe Pisarcik and I played football together for a lot of years. Now we play golf together.
We're sitting on the patio at beautiful Blue Heron Pines under the Yingling umbrella, looking out at a great golf course that has gotten greater since it was bought by this man right here, Ron Jaworski. June of 2012, new ownership, new look, new improvements, new attitude. Ron, welcome to the Traveling Golfer.
It's great to be with you once again, Tony. You know, I love your passion for the game of golf. I love to play the game. I love the golf business. I love being around the people that we see here at Blue Heron Pine. So all is good.
I was involved with this course from the very beginning when Stephen K. designed it, and have seen the evolution over the years, but I really like some of the changes and improvements you've made in only just a short amount of time. Tell me the thinking when you came in here.
Well, when we purchased here in June of 2012, one of my first conversations was with Stephen K. You know, he designed this golf course, he built the golf course, and I really wanted to bring it back to its original state. And as you know, Tony, Golf World has ranked this golf course number 34 in the country of public golf course. And this golf course is designed for all levels of play. You could be a 30 handicapper, come here and have fun.
Absolutely.
And you could be a scratch golfer and go back to the tips and have your game tested.
Absolutely.
And that's how Stephen designed the golf course. And you take number 11. It's a replica of Pine Valley. Number 12 was a replica of Pinehurst number 2. Hell's Half Acre, replica of another Pine Valley hole. So you can see the kind of the cool stuff that he did to make the golf course unique and different. And the nice thing is there aren't any real parallel holes here. So every hole is unique by itself. It stands alone, and it feels like, there's no one on the golf course with you. The Atlantic City area, southern New Jersey, is very rich in history and tradition of golf. And it's really not just about Blue Heron Pines. I mean, I'm very happy to be the owner down here, but we also have other great golf courses. They send players to us. We send players to them. And it really is a cumulative effort of everyone to drive the game of golf and make the game more friendly so we all can flourish in the business.
Well, folks, come to Blue Heron Pines, play a little golf with Ron Jaworski, head out on the Stephen K. Golf Trail, and you will not be sorry. And you're around for a game anytime there's somebody
You
comes
got
in,
that
right?
right. Let's go, Tony.
We're on the back patio at Scotland Run, another Stephen K. production with Nick Borrow, the head professional. Welcome to the Traveling Golfer.
Thank you, Tony.
And this is not a sunglasses commercial, folks. This is a brilliant sunshine day. That's right, we can use a little bit of help here. A brilliant sunshine day where the sun always shines at Scotland Run. We're about 40 minutes from the Jersey Shore, and Nick knows that well because he grew up in Iowa.
That's right. Plenty of miles from the ocean.
That's right, Iowa to Coastal Carolina University, a great professional golf management program there in Myrtle Beach. And then you came up to Scotland Run 2006?
Correct.
And a Jersey boy he is now, we can't get rid of him. He doesn't want to leave.
Stuck here forever.
Yeah, really. Well, hey, a lot of people love the area outside of Philadelphia, and of course this puts you so close to the Jersey Shore, close to all the action in Philadelphia.
Yes.
And on a great golf course. Tell us a little bit about this particular course.
Well, this course is very unusual in this area. There's two different flavors, as you could say, of the golf course. We have front nine that goes through more of the wooded area. It's very tree lined on the front nine, at least the first 7 holes on the front. Very demanding off the tee, not a lot of room to miss left or right off the tee. But if you do find the fairway, it can be very rewarding on your second shots into the green. They are protected well with some bunkering and some waste areas. But the front nine is mostly known as the wooded nine, and a little bit easier of the 2 nines because there's not as much water or waste areas that come into play.
Yeah.
The back nine, completely different feel. It goes through an old sand quarry that the property really sits on. So there's a lot of waste areas, not tree lined at all, but a lot of waste areas, a lot more water that comes into play. A little more open, if you will, off the tee because of the fact that there's no trees. But if you miss a fairway, you're in the middle of a sand pit. So at least you have a shot out of the sand compared to behind a tree.
And if you ever get bored out there, I don't know why you'd get bored on such an interesting course, but there's a little bit of, well, eye candy to look at, let's say.
Sure.
Some adornments out there on the course. Tell us about some of them.
Sure, some leftover equipment from the quarry. When we opened the property, we wanted to keep the theme of the sand quarry that was here, so we had left a few of the plows, and there is even one piece that doesn't fit quite with the quarry theme, and that is the airplane that is down in the 16th hole.
Once you come off the course, this is one of the great experiences you can find at any daily fee course anywhere in the country. This clubhouse is really something, and your owner did a great job.
The entire clubhouse encompasses about 28,000 square feet, so it's a large building. Upstairs is where you get a great view of the golf course, and that is our banquet room where we do a lot of weddings, parties, different types of events there. They have a 100-seat full-service restaurant with a bar area. It's gorgeous inside.
And the pub is a lot of fun in there too. It's a nice square bar where you can have a lot of interaction. The people across there, you got the big screens. Nick, best way to find out more about Scotland Run, the website?
Absolutely, scotlandrun.com for sure.
scotlandrun.com. You'll enjoy every single minute of it.
Absolutely.
This guy came here from Iowa and hasn't been able to leave.
Golf's fairways just got wider, and par 5s a lot shorter. thanks to Bridgestone's new E12 Contact, featuring a unique contact force dimple design that delivers 38% more contact at impact. Think straight. Think distance. Play Bridgestone's new E12 Contact.
I got involved in this project back in the late 90s. It is an officially federally closed landfill that Mayor Sonny McCullough didn't want to just leave in the center of his township and wanted to create something that looked pretty and was useful and would maybe get a little bit of a return on investment.
So for all you millions who came to the Jersey Shore all those years, your trash is underneath us, but it's been put to good use.
Very good use. Most of the golf courses tend to be fairly flat, maybe a gentle little roll. This golf course has almost an 80-foot elevation change from the highest point, which we're on right now, to the lowest point, which is holes 8, 9, and 18.
That's a big elevation change, especially for a naturally flat parcel of ground. You had to use all of your engineering skills to put this golf course together.
This was well, I'm not an engineer. I'm a licensed landscape architect, but I limit my practice to just golf. This was the most complicated project I did. Over 20 different layouts and routings. There are methane extraction wells, like 50 or 60 on the project that we had to skirt, and we didn't want it on a green, didn't want it on a tee. They are on some fairways, but we hide them with mounds or berms or bunkers. So it was quite a thing of putting this in. Did they want a range, which would, if they did have a range, it would have been a shorter golf course. So that we kept going back and forth with designs. We felt like we got the best bang for our buck with the design that we have. And it was fun, and the design scheme was fun also.
Yeah, it turned into a Scottish links style golf course. Some people choose that. In this particular case, you had no choice.
No, there are no trees except bordering on a few holes that are not on the landfill. And there's this plastic layer there. You can't plant trees because the roots would break through that plastic liner. So hence we knew we were going to have an open golf course, and hence we came up with the idea to try to honor and do a variation on a theme of different holes from Scotland and Ireland. We have a 10th hole from Royal Dornoch that Donald Ross is from. It's fun. It's not exact copies, it's variations on a theme of those holes.
One of the most famous holes in the world, of course, at Royal Troon in Scotland.
That short 125, 130 yard par 3, it was slightly downhill and it just fit perfectly with the yardage.
And it's a definitely different style of golf you have to play. With no trees and with these elevations, wind is always a factor.
The golf course opened in '03. I think there were 350 golf courses that opened that year. This was in the top 35 of all those golf courses, and of municipal government-owned golf courses, this was ranked number 2 municipal new golf course in the country that it opened. The golf course had to be raised. In order to put the irrigation in and drainage in, it had to be raised 2 to 3 feet in every area. The golf holes that are not on the landfill got lowered anywhere from 20 to 40 feet. Basically needed over 400,000 yards of material to raise up the greens and tees and fairways in order to then put our drainage and irrigation in. The topsoil we pushed off and actually did not put back. We used that to create the mound to make it look like it was Scottish golf courses. They were built like a pyramid, and the greens have a geotextile and another filter fabric.
Golf doesn't get the acclaim it should for being environmentally friendly. We're with Tom Sullivan, General Manager, McCullough's Emerald Golf Links. And if anybody knows the story of how this went from, well, blighted land to beautiful golf course, Tom does. The course is so unique and different in its style, Scottish links style. I'm sure that resonates with the people who come to play here. And the people who come to play are visitors to Atlantic City, those who live here, and those who live nearby. The fact that this price point is a little lower than many of the other resort and upscale daily fee courses in the area, I'm sure is a relief to some of the golfers who want to enjoy this.
We're by far the best value in this area when you combine course conditions, price paid, and uniqueness to the golf course. And the style of the golf course is true links style golf, rolling hills, high elevation, undulating greens.
I think the beauty of McCullough's Emerald Golf Links is that when you come to play here, you never really know what you're going to get. Basic design is relatively playable, some wide corridors, but on some days there's an added element.
That's true, and by far that added element tends to be the wind. Because of the elevation, it is windier here than in most parts of the county. And also because of the style of the golf course, it may be playing hard and fast a certain time of the year. It may be playing where you actually have to air it to the green. It really depends on the conditions of the day, and it also depends on the conditions of the time of the year.
We all have our favorites when we play a golf course. I have my favorites out here. How about you, Tom? Favorite hole or holes out here?
Well, matter of fact, we're standing on the 18th hole right now, or right by the 18th hole. Great finishing hole. Got an elevated tee box to a fairly wide fairway, although there's water to the right-hand side off of the drive as well as to the approach shot. And if there's a prevailing wind, the prevailing wind coming from the south, it will push you towards the pond.
This whole complex is pretty amazing here. You have the 8th hole on the other side, which is almost a little bit of a mirror hole of number 18. Mm-hmm. And then one tough par 3, number 9, also along the water but coming in here.
Yeah, number 8 is also neat because of the elevation. A little trickier than the 18th hole because you have the hazard of the trees on your right-hand side as well as the water on your left-hand side. And it actually plays a bit longer, as well as a fairway bunker in the center of the fairway. So the long hitters have to be especially careful not to drive it too far, as well as driving it straight. The 9th hole is a par 3, 165 yards. Fun hole, it's a tough hole. Undulating green, there is an upper and a lower shelf to the green, so pin position is important when playing the hole. And it just happens to be the only hole that I've ever had a hole-in-one on.
There we go. After playing golf all over the Atlantic City area, the one thing we now know, Atlantic City Golf is your best bet.
Official sponsors of the Traveling Golfer include Bridgestone, providing distance, feel, and accuracy from tee to green. Tour Edge, equipment that gives you the leading edge both in price and performance. Swing Dish and Covell, fresh new apparel making you look great on and off the golf course.